Hey there, welcome to day 94, playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1206 after a loss in our last game, and let's go ahead and just jump into another 15-minute rapid game here. Okay, we're up against 1289. He's almost 1300. Not familiar with, I guess he's going for like the, wait, what is that? Is that like a, King's Indian is normally a setup for black. I'm going to go ahead and just play d5 here. Okay, I think I'm just going to take both. I'm just going to experiment and take the center. Normally I play other stuff, but I think it's generally good to just take the center, so let's try that. Normally I would play the Karo or the Slav, but yeah, I don't think I need to here. And let's just bring this knight out. He does have this pin. Probably have to respond like that. Let's just do that anyway and get our knights out. Although, do I want to be able to protect this pawn with a pawn? I probably should, actually. Instead of just having to protect it with knights. Okay, let's just do this. I guess I can't protect either with a pawn for now until my knights move. I'll have to be aware of that. If he does go for this, probably do need to go here, so maybe I'll wait on developing that one or just develop it here right away. Or maybe I'll move the knight first. If I go here, take, he takes and I can't castle. I mean, I could take with the knight, but then I'm like undeveloping my knight. That doesn't work. Yeah, maybe let's just try to quickly castle. Where would I go if I move a knight? I don't know. Okay, let's just develop here and just try to quickly castle. That's guarded. If he goes here, I'll probably push. Okay, he does go there. I think I'll push. Because if he moves this knight, he could be double attacking this pawn. If I push, he goes here, I take. If he goes here, I could probably kick him. Because he can't hop anywhere else, I don't think. If he goes here, it's kind of a weird, not good square. So, okay, let's try pushing. This pawn is still guarded by this knight, although I think I'd like to have more. Oh, I forgot he could go there. But then we do double up his pawns. So let's just trade that. Yeah. Okay. Can't go here. Let's castle and try to develop this. Do I want to go here maybe? If I took here, he could take with that. So that's not really a threat. Not really threatening anything with that. Yeah, let's just castle first. Or if I go here and then he pushes that, I go back. Oh, maybe I do want to go back and then eye this pawn. He could defend it. So maybe the bishop is better if I could get it over here or something. Maybe I should go like this. Put it here. We eye this pawn this way and can go to here. So let's castle first. And then we can figure that out. So his bishop can't really develop to any of these squares. His dark square bishop, so he can only develop it here. Because the pawns cover these squares and the bishop... I guess he could go here and we... No, because I have two attackers there. He only has one defender. Okay, take. But here he doubles He will get another double pawn, right? If I take here and then we just trade the queens off, and he has a weak pawn structure. But I think it probably makes sense to do that. Is there anything better though? Not sure. I think I'll probably just go for that. Trade, take the open file, and worsen his pawn structure if he takes back like that. And if he doesn't, then I'll just take another pawn, I guess, maybe. Okay. Okay, so now he has this isolated pawn and then these double pawns, so it should make attacking and getting rid of pawns a little bit easier for us than it will be for him, because I have good pawn structure. And I was thinking of pushing this and getting the bishop over here. Do I still want to do that? I think so. Or I just put it right in the center here. Maybe we pressure this one so his rook can't really move. And then maybe we can go to here and kind of blockade this pawn. And yeah, I think I like that actually. Let's develop this way. Okay. And then how can I attack? I can't really attack any pawns right now because the bishop is controlling a lot of these squares. Maybe I should just try to double up the rooks immediately. This knight is guarding both of these pawns. Should I support this pawn with another pawn so I don't have to worry about it and be able to move the knight? And I don't want to forget that the pawn is guarding here and then move it and just blunder the pawn. Or that the knight is guarding the pawn there. Yeah, I think I'll just probably try to double up the rooks. Because I don't see any other threats I could create right away. I could try to figure out a way to attack this pawn with the dark square bishop, but I don't have a way to do that right now because I can't go here. So let's just try to double up. And maybe I don't want to let him trade off his weak pawn, but if I can push my pawns, start getting across the board, that would be good. Maybe I have an escape square for the king also, so that there won't be any back rank threats with the rooks. Okay. Probably will just move my bishop. Can't really be attacked here easily. Nothing else is really being threatened. And I could trade. I don't think I want to though. I think the bishops will be better. So yeah, probably just bishop here. And then we are attacking this pawn, which is not defended. So he might have to move a rook to defend it, or maybe move his bishop here. Because it can't go forward. And I like that we have this pawn blocked off, which is totally weakening his light square bishop. It's just not really looking at much. Okay, now it is. Let's see, how should I respond to that? Wait, if I just take here, he takes, I take, but then he takes, and I can't take the bishop back, so that is not a good exchange. I think I need to just move the rook, and probably would just move it here. He could go here though, then I would need to move it again, but then I could go here. Then I'd be getting chased around quite a bit. Okay, let's just go for that though. I think that's okay. Oh wait, no, never mind. I wouldn't be losing the bishop because the bishop's covered by the knight. If he goes here, we move. He can take, I can take back. Okay, he's guarding the pawn. He's not going for this. I might go ahead and play here just to prevent him from ever coming here. I could also kick the knight first. If I kick the knight here, or probably here, if I do that, the knight can't go here. Probably has to go back. So I think I'll do that first. Or actually, if I do that and then he goes here, then I go here, and we're double attacking this. Actually, we're double attacking both if I do that. So I think it's still okay. So let's kick him first. Okay, he goes back. So this pawn is still under attack. I do need to keep that in mind. And I could go ahead and double up the rooks. Try to find a way to attack this pawn. What if I get the knight here instead of the bishop? Is that good? I don't know. I guess I would be maybe trying to threaten to take his bishop here. He could bring it all the way back. Let's probably double the rooks first. Actually, no. I do want to play this to prevent the bishop from ever coming here. Because right now I think it wasn't super threatening, but it could be more threatening at some point if the knight were to move or something. Because the rook cannot guard, if he goes here and then I move the rook can't come back to guard the bishop, so the bishop would be hanging if the knight weren't here. Because his light square bishop covers the squares that the rook would go to guard. So that could be a tactical possibility for him in the future if I don't cut this square off now. Okay. What if I go here? I mean, this is hanging. I probably need to just move it. If I go here and he takes, then I lose the file here. My rook is kind of out of the way. I could take back with the pawn, but then I have double isolated pawns. So I think I'll go maybe back to here. But then if he pushes the... I don't really want him to push the pawn. Where should I go? It's either here, here, or here. Or do I just guard it? And if he takes, I hop in with the knight here. We're attacking his bishop. Maybe I will just do that. But if he doesn't take, then my knight's maybe kind of pointless here. Then I could drop back and then try to hop into here with the knight. Try to trade the knights off. Okay, I think I'm gonna try that. Let him take back with the knight if he wants to take. And we'll see what he goes for. If he just like hops back or something, then I might just do the same to guard the pawn again, or I'll just push this pawn. And then I'll try to double up here when I can. Although his dark square bishop is still doing a good job of controlling the squares that I want to infiltrate too. So that's why I do think if I could get the knight in here and like get rid of his dark square bishop, then that would be nice. Because it would allow me to infiltrate. Or maybe I just challenge him here. and then take. We do end up with the double pawns, but they're on the edge here, and I don't think that matters as much. Yeah, I could go for that if he doesn't take here. And if he wants to avoid trading, if he takes, I take back with the knight, and then I'm threatening the bishop. He could go all the way back to here. But if he does that, then he's disconnecting his rooks. So, I don't know. And then my knight's really active and his bishop becomes less active. Interesting. I guess he wants to fix his pawns, which I don't want him to do. Wait, can I just win a pawn actually? Take here. His rook opens up on this pawn, but I could push it afterwards and then free my rook up. So shouldn't I just take and win a pawn? Or is there something else that I'd be missing? Take here. Do I want to take with the bishop first and get the knight in here? No, I think the bishop is better. Although if I take back with the knight, his rook is under threat. Here, rook's under threat. He can go over. Knight could hop back or something. Yeah, let's just take with the knight. And the pawn. Yeah. Yeah, like this rook opens up, but I don't think it's that much of a threat once I push a pawn here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and probably just move back to here. Keep pressure on this pawn, which is hard to defend. I mean, he has to keep the rook tied to it. There's nothing where he takes here because I have two pawns guarding it. Could also go here. Oh, actually, that's good. Forking these two. Take another pawn. Okay, let's try that. Oh, yeah, actually he can guard it that way. But maybe I can kick him like this. He could go to one of the light squares. No, he can't go to that one. He can go to this one. But if he goes to this one, I can attack him again. It almost could be possible. Oh no, this would be unguarded. Maybe I should attack him with this one so he doesn't attack an unguarded one. But I almost wonder if I could trap him, because if I have the bishop here and he's on one of the light squares, both the light squares get cut off. He could still go here. Maybe I can't quite trap him. Oh yeah, if I push this... Okay, no, the pawn's still guarded. So I think... Oh yeah, it's guarded by this pawn and by the rook, so that's not an issue. Yeah, let's go for trying to kick him here. And see if that can lead to anything. So I think he needs to go here. And then if I go here... Actually, yeah, then he can't... Then he would be trapped, because he can't go down. So I think he has to go back, actually. Like, to here. Yeah, so he does that, so then I can win the pawn. Which is nice. So he realized he was going to get trapped there. That means we're up 2 pawns now. And where do I want to go? It's I always have trouble deciding which way I want to go with a bishop. Which side do I want it on? I could put it here. It's kind of a nice spot. Or I could put it back this way, but then I can't push these pawns, which I could want to do. But I might also want to trade the bishop. Could also just centralize it here, but then I don't have as much control of the file, so I think I'll go back to here. And then I do have the ability to trade if I come down like this. So maybe I'll go for that. Probably should get the rooks. Get the rook over, although if I move the rook and then he attacks this pawn, I might just have to move it back. Or I push it all the way forward. Okay, I don't want to take that. I think I'll just guard with a pawn. Or I could guard with the bishop if take here. Well, I do like that because then we're attacking the pawn and the rook maybe. If he pushes again, I can push and then we still are attacking. And he'll block off his bishop, so I think, yeah, let's actually use the bishop for this. Also, he opens up squares if I want to come into here. Wedge my bishop in there. But I think I'll still probably try to trade it. We can simplify the position, trade material off, and just be up 2 pawns. And he still has this weak pawn here. And that could be good. Okay, he's offering the trade himself. And yeah, I think I'll just go for that. I don't want him to take it, and then I put my rook off to the side. I think I'll just take it. And then I can take here. He takes. I take. He takes. I take. If we went for that, so I think that would be fine. But there could be an intermediate move that I am overlooking there, so maybe I won't take, maybe I'll just push. And then we also, it would be on a light square, so it would be hard for him to attack that pawn. He can't attack it here because this pawn's guarding, so yeah, I think I'll push it. And then we're immediately attacking this. Because, yeah, taking just makes his bishop more active. Okay, push that. So this pawn is pinned to the rook. He probably needs to just play one of these 2 moves. And then I'll go ahead and double. And I still can't infiltrate here, which is where I want to infiltrate with the rook. Oh, he pushes the pawn? Why did he push the pawn? Because then I can just take here, and then I'm forking both the rooks. This didn't open up any threat, really, because there's nothing here with that sacrifice. I'm not sure why he did that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take. And don't think he can do anything to not lose a rook here. He can just guard one of them and take the bishop back. But I'm already up +3, so it's going to be a pretty big advantage, I think. I guess he missed that pawn was just hanging. But I still don't know what the idea of pushing this pawn was. I guess just to take up more space, get further across. Okay. Attacking my rook, but I can just move out of the way. Like, go here and attack the pawn. Just try to stay on light squares, and this is still a threat. Or go here. I think here to attack the pawn. Slightly more forcing move. Make sure there's nothing else crazy here. That's on a light square. Okay, yeah, let's just go here. Still haven't even moved this rook at all. I've been planning to double up for a long time, but haven't done it yet. Okay, so he's still staying in the fight here. We're going to take that. And then I should try to activate my king. I mean, once he takes here, I can just take this pawn right away. I think I'll do... He could take the open file. How threatening is that, though? Here. There. Can't challenge him. So he could be threatening to come into here, which I don't really want him to do. Maybe I shouldn't take the pawn. Maybe let's double up first. Yeah, let's double up first. And try to trade. Could also play this, but he would have en passant. Just to try to get rid of his bishop. I guess he could come down to here. And he can attack this pawn. But if he does attack that pawn... Okay, he goes there, so let's go ahead and just challenge him right away. Could still take the pawn. Actually, maybe I do take the pawn now, because now he can't take the file. So either I go here and try to trade, or I just take the pawn. If I try to trade, I mean, he's definitely not going to want to trade, so he's going to have to go either here, one of these squares. Yeah, maybe just taking the pawn is good. And then also, by taking the pawn, we're pinning the bishop to the king, and we're threatening to go here and win the bishop. So yeah, let's just take the pawn. And we still have the open file. Okay, he gets out of that. Could go here and attack. He could push. Let's not take too long. I mean, he probably could just take my pawn here unless I want to defend it. If I go here and he takes here, could go here again. If he doesn't take, then I'll take here. Okay. Yeah, let's just go here, let him take that one, and then try to play here. To get the trade or take another pawn with check, maybe. Could also just go check right away if he takes. But do I want to do that? Not sure if that does anything, so I think I'll just go here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I was playing well, and I think I was playing pretty well, and then I just blundered the rook. What? Dang. That was really bad, actually. I had a really similar game to this like a week ago, where I was playing well, we were down into an endgame, and then I just blundered a rook to a bishop in the exact same situation. I had been blundering more, because I haven't been playing as much, or practicing as much lately. I've just had like more stuff going on. And yeah, I've just been having more straight up blunders like that, even when I've been playing good throughout the rest of the game. Why did I think that I could go there? Yeah, I think I thought I could go there earlier too. Like I didn't realize it was covered earlier as well. So that was pretty bad. Okay. Well, now I can move here. He's able to cover that. Yeah, this is going to be a lot harder. Dang, I should have totally been winning. Let's push stuff. Stay on light squares. Yeah, let's push that right away. It was messed up that I just did that. Because I think until that point, I want to say I was playing like with pretty good accuracy. It felt like. Can't go here. I think I need to activate my king. So let's go ahead and do that. If I can get my king to here, then I could try to play here, here, here. We cut off his squares for his king. Try to keep the king on light squares though. So if I go there, he is able to do that. So he goes here. I go to the side. Okay, he's attacking that one. I can push this, and I have this one weak pawn, but I could go here to defend it. Otherwise, I could just go here right away. Oh, I gotta play quickly. Okay. Let's go on a light square. Maybe I'll try to go here if I can, but I'd have to protect this pawn first. Could push this one again. If he attacks it, then I go here, then they're both on light squares. If he attacks this one, go here behind it. Well, now I can play here. If he takes en passant, I come behind this pawn. Then they're not connected anymore, but at least my king has a way in. Come in there. Here, here, here. Try to come in this way. Okay, let's push this first like I was thinking of doing. I want to try that idea of just walking these three pawns across as much as I can. Because this doesn't seem to have urgency to it. This check still would be a problem. Oh, he goes there right away. Go here yet. Is he threatening something? Can't take here. Okay, I think I will just go here. And just take back that way. Bring my king over here maybe. I thought he might try to attack this pawn and then I would push this next one, but he's staying on this one. So I can't push this one. I could actually just push this one again. I just realized that. Okay, now he moved. He's threatening check here maybe. Okay, he didn't take there, so I think I'm gonna go... Do I go check? Let's go here actually. To prevent anything with the rook coming in. And now we're cutting off all his king squares, and then maybe I can still try to push this. I don't really want to do check here right away, because then he can just come in on these dark squares. Could try to challenge the file, and if he trades, maybe try to quickly walk this pawn over, but I think he could probably stop it. Okay, he's attacking that one. I can't defend it with my king. I might have to defend it here. Or just push it. No, but then he can take it. Go check there. Oh yeah, I can't defend it that way because he's looking at that. So let's just push the pawn maybe. And he can take. If he takes, then we'll... No, I can't force the trade because the bishop can just take. But I'll just focus all my effort on this. He might have to sack the bishop at the end for it. Let me try to get another pawn across though. Here. Can I get another pawn across? Let me go here. I don't have any time, so I'm probably going to mess up. Okay. Yeah, let's bring the king over this way. Try to stay on the light squares. Have to be careful if he forces this trade, takes there, and then tries to push. I have to be able to guard against that pawn. So, okay, let me start pushing my pawns here. Get one to support this one, and if we can get them both to the end, then we might be okay. So I'll use my king here. He can't come down into there. And I can take if he comes this way. If he brings it down, I can take. And also he's blocking off his protection of this last square with this pawn here. Interesting approach. Okay, let's just go here. Threatening to promote, so he's going to have to push the pawn, right? Then I'll take it. And then I'm threatening the bishop. Bishop moves, and then I try to walk this next pawn up to support it. Okay. And his king can't come in here. I don't think bringing his king over this way was good. Okay, maybe I should just bring my king up actually, because then, but then he comes around and it takes these. So let's use the pawn. If I go here. Okay, now he's coming up, so maybe now I walk up. He goes up. Here. Okay, yeah, I think I can use my king to help. I think he's too far away to walk over and get this one. Go here, go there. I don't have a lot of time to think here. Yeah, he's able to defend this though. So actually, let me go here. And then walk this pawn forward to attack his bishop, maybe? Well, maybe I should have actually just used my king over here. Why does it say I've been disconnected? Okay, no. We're good. Okay, I don't have too much time to plan this out that well. I could try to run back this way and grab his other pawn. Or I go here. Then the bishop has to go here. Then I can walk this forward more and then walk the last pawn. I think that probably works. Let's try that. Okay, so I can push this guy. Then what can he do? He has to move his king. I can't bring my king in. I think I have to make room for the pawn to come up. Yeah, let's go over or down. Down, push this. Let's go down so that when I push this, I'm still supporting this pawn. so that he can't just take it. Oh, that's a problem actually, because now he's, if I push he can take. Let's go. Wait, no, he can't take because it's check. So he can't take right away with the bishop. So then we're threatening this. Can't go to, he has to go back to one of these squares. He has to go to one, here, then I go here. Bishop's trapped. Bishop takes, pawn takes. I guess king takes. Then I push and promote, king takes the queen, and then I run over here and try to promote this one. Yeah, I think that probably works. Do I try to, yeah, I can't defend that pawn, so let's just send him over that way. So that's exactly what we were just looking at there. And now can I make it, I think I can win because I have 2 pawns. Okay, yeah, I'm able to win. Pretty sure. Just go up. I mean, he can try to get mine, but that's several here. Wait, how many moves does that take? I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm fine. If I counted that right. I guess I could have also just taken here. Okay, we come up. We should win the pawn race here. So yeah, because of my blunder earlier, we got a pretty interesting endgame. If I didn't blunder, it would have been an easy win. But I blundered, and then now we have a really close game here. But we're going to beat him to promotion. Okay, so how do I want to do this? I could go check here. Okay, let me just check. I think I probably can't go wrong with checking. Could also check here. I'm gonna check here. Because his pawn is really close to promotion, so I do have to be careful. Okay, if I just stay here though, cover this square, and bring my king over. Actually, wait, how does this work? He's gonna stay in the corner and just bounce around between those 2 squares. If I go here, then he can't move. But then it's almost a stalemate. He goes there. I go here. He goes here. Check again. He can come down. It's actually really hard. It's hard to figure out how to win it exactly. If I just bring the king down, he pushes. He can't come to the side. He can come here to the side though. Not totally sure what to do. Let me just keep checking him. I'm just going to check him on different squares and see if I can force him away, but I don't think I can though. If I could get a fork. Okay, let's check him here. If I could get my queen on h8, that would be perfect. But how do I do that? Oh wait, I can just go here to win the pawn, because he has to go to the side. Okay, yeah, here we go. Oh no, he can push the pawn, never mind. He can push the pawn one more, and then it's almost stalemate. I can go here and force him up. Yep, let's check. Up. I'm not sure what to do, because I can't get my king down to help. Oh wait, does this... If I go here, he can go back though. Here he promotes. Here he goes back. Let me just keep trying to check as much as possible. Over. Yeah, I don't know. Is this drawing or is this... I feel like it should definitely be winning. But maybe it's not, maybe it is drawing. Okay. Well, because he's down... No, it's gonna be stalemate if I move. I want to just find a way to get my... If I can get him down into this position with my queen not here, where it's not gonna be a stalemate, then it can work. So let me go... like, here. Just... So not here. Check. I have to check him from further away and get him to where it's not going to be a stalemate. Then I can use that if I can get him in front of the pawn. Then I can use it to walk the king. I don't know if it's going to work though. That doesn't work. Check. I can't get him to go in front of there when I'm not close. He's going to keep going up to this square. I might have to take a draw. Maybe this is drawing. Because maybe there is no way to force him to go in front of it and move the king over. Or I'm just missing it. I might just have to take the pawn and... Oh, never mind, it's a repeat anyway. Okay, I have to see... At least we gained Elo. I gained 2 points because he was a good amount higher, but... It would have been an easy win if I didn't blunder that rook, so that was a little bit frustrating that I just hung the rook like that, but let's check the game review, and I want to see if that in-game was drawing, or if I should have been able to win it. Okay, it was drawing. Alright, well that's good. At least I didn't miss a win there. It was a draw because he had that pawn close enough, and I wasn't able to force him to go in front of it. But... Oh, my game review is not popping up. Let me fix this. Here. Okay. Now we have it up. But yeah, I was looking at the graph there, and at the end, it was drawing. It was drawing in the middle here for a while too. It was kind of a weird graph, like I was steadily winning, and then I had my blunder, and then he was slightly winning, and then it's another big drop to where I was winning. But then I messed up at some point. I had a miss. So I'm not sure where that was, but at the very end, at least it was a drawing position, so I wasn't missing something there. Let's go through the moves, though. I'm curious about what that miss at the end is. Obviously, the blunder was really straightforward, so there's not much to figure out there. But some of the in-game stuff should be interesting. That was a mistake, yeah. This was good. I felt like I was playing pretty well here, especially because we simplified the position. I struggle when there's a lot of stuff to keep track of to play well, but when a position is pretty simple, I feel like I can keep track of it all and play better. So yeah, that was a mistake to put the knight there. I was able to just win this pawn. And now I'm up 2.9 advantage. He wants him to push the pawn instead of bringing the rook over. I guess, is that an attempt to trap the bishop, maybe? Like, oops, I jumped forward. Okay, I think we were here. So if you push the pawn, no, but I could just take it, so I don't know what the point of pushing it is. Got that fork. He's able to guard it here, but it doesn't like this move that much. I want him to actually come down to here and just attack my pawn. So I take, he takes, and then he's threatening the bishop again. Oh, then he's forking both bishops, actually. So that makes sense to go for that idea. That was good. It prefers the rook to come over and attack this pawn. Is he able to guard it, though? I wanted to keep the rook on this file as much as I could, like just control it. Let me see what it says if I go here, though. So he goes there, I go here, show follow-up. Oh, it was threatening a discovered attack, I see, yeah. Okay, that was a lot of moves, but yeah, it looks like we were able to win some material if I did that. Yeah, this was best to use the bishop to guard, because then I have a nice attack if he takes. There, the trade was good for us. Oh, it did want me to take with this pawn. It says I missed an opportunity to tactically win a pawn. Why is there an opportunity to win a pawn? Because if he goes here, it's tempo on the rook. Oh, I did think about this, actually. Where he takes, then I take, then he takes, then I take. But I was worried of some kind of intermediate move there, so I didn't even really consider doing that for real, because if there was some other intermediate threat he could create, it would totally throw off that plan. So I just decided to keep it more simple, push the pawn and attack this. But it did actually work. Take, and then we just get this exchange where we trade the rooks off and I win an extra pawn over here. But he pushed this pawn anyway, so I was able to just take that pawn, which I guess he didn't realize was hanging. So yeah, that was kind of confusing, because I was surprised that he played that, but I think it was just a blunder. I was wondering if there was something I was missing. And then it did want me to just go ahead and take, actually, and let him take. But why do that when I can outright win a rook instead of letting him take and just trade the rook? I mean, it doesn't matter because my move was fine. It says excellent. But I am curious why it wants me to just take here. Take. Push. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't care about the material. It likes pushing this pawn quicker and just allowing the trade. Oh, it did want me to go ahead and take that pawn, which I was definitely considering, but I liked controlling the open file, so I decided to play that move, getting the other rook over first. Then we take the pawn. And then there I just completely blundered my rook, which was rather unfortunate. And then now the game is a lot closer. At least we didn't end up losing after that blunder. Like, to just straight up blunder a rook and not get anything back and still draw is good, at least. Because I had won so much material before that. I was up +5, so yeah, it became even after I blundered the rook. That's inaccurate. But yeah, the game is basically drawing, but he has a little bit of an advantage around this time. Needs him to push that pawn, I guess, so I can't defend it with this one. That was inaccurate of him, but it prefers me to guard with the rook, which I considered. But I figured this was better because then I only have one weak pawn, and I can just guard the one weak pawn with the rook. Yeah, so that's what we did. This is great. And then we have two pawns supported by the one that I have guarded. And his king, it's hard for him to infiltrate really, because most of these squares are pretty cut off. So I thought this seemed good. That was best for him to push this. He didn't want me to support this pawn. And then just trying to walk the pawn, this seems like it was good. It does want me to go ahead and play here and maybe just get the king in, which I was considering, but then I decided to just try to see how much I could push the pawn. And then it wanted him to take en passant, which he didn't, and I was surprised that he didn't go for that. Because now I just have a lot of control over these squares, and I could use these to create a pass pawn in the future. That was inaccurate. I was worried about him infiltrating down here. With check, I mean, I guess it's not really threatening anything. But to me, it didn't look very appealing, so I wanted to prevent it. But that was inaccurate. It prefers just pushing the pawn here. Okay, I get that pawn moving. It says this is fine. I basically sacrificed this one, but it did prefer me to push this. But either way, I lose a pawn because if I push, he takes, I take, he takes, and then his king is more active. So the engine seems to like that, but to me that looks bad. But, I mean, as long as it says the move is excellent, then I'm not going to worry about playing it differently. But I want him to attack this pawn with the bishop. This was inaccurate. Both of us have a lot of inaccuracies here at the endgame. We get that trade. And we're still drawing. He has a slight advantage, actually. But then he made this mistake, which was pretty big, because I can bring the king here, and then he's blocking that off, and he has to lose the pawn when he pushes it, which was his only passed pawn. And then this was inaccurate. Yeah, I was wondering what he was going for here, because yes, he wants to just walk all the way around, but it's way slower than what I can do. So I push that, he pushes, I take. That was best, and now I'm totally winning here. So I need to see where I messed up. Maybe it wants me to have actually ran the king over to this side like I was considering. Like, sack everything over here as much as I can. Get his king and his bishop both locked down over here. Maybe get rid of the bishop and then quickly run over this way. Which I ended up doing later, but maybe I should have done it earlier. I'm really curious what I should have done here. Where did I go wrong? Okay, so this is all good. 7.7 advantage. I'm completely winning. That was good. That was good. That was not good. I mean, it says good, but that was not best or excellent. But I still have a 6.6 advantage. It prefers me to go here first. So does it actually want me to run over to this side? Is that what it wants? Let me see the follow-up. So if I go here, instead of... I mean, how could I not play that fork, though, and just get rid of the bishop, and then... It seems like it's totally winning. It says mate in 23, and it is winning at this point. Let me click show follow-up. I want to see where it goes. Okay, so I do go over this way. And this time he just has less time to get over, because he still has to chase that guy. Okay. So going for the fork was only good, but I still have a 6.6 advantage. So here I'm still fine. Still fine. Still fine, still fine. Want me to go over to here. What about just taking? Okay, that's excellent. And now it's mate 19. So I should have just taken. Dang, okay. I thought when I counted it and I realized how many moves away he was from promoting, I figured I'm totally winning. But I didn't account for the fact that if he gets his pawn close enough and I can't get rid of his king. I haven't like studied the queen in games like this. Like king and pawn versus queen, I don't really know what's winning or what isn't. But I guess if the pawn is close enough and it's in the corner, I think, where the king can bounce around between these squares and you never can force him to block it off, then I think that that's the case where it's drawing, which is what we had. So I should have just taken the other pawn. And then I have the 2 pawns, and that's going to be winning either way. So, yeah, definitely that was probably the biggest mistake. It wanted me to go to the side here, but to me it would make more sense intuitively just to take the pawn. And it says that it's still totally winning. This is still best, though. So what I played, even though without taking the pawn, is still best. So where did I mess up then? Really? So it's like, it's after this check. I was still winning. Somewhere at... That was the miss. Wait, this is just mate in 2. Here. Here. Oh, and then here. Wow. Missed the mate in 2. I was low on time, and I was figuring if I just check him a bunch, I can't really go wrong with that, right? So that's what I was doing. But I guess you can go wrong with just checking a bunch. Still says mate in 10. That's a miss, and now it's drawn. This one move, giving him one move to push the pawn, is what drew the game. I just couldn't figure out what check to get him away from the pawn, though. And then this was all just drawn, so these are kind of pointless checks, where I was just trying to figure something out. But it was winning when the pawn was on h6, and it was losing when the pawn got to h7. So I tried to play that one move that wasn't a check, and that just completely brought it back to a draw. I mean, I'm still okay with a draw. I still gained elo. But I could have won this. I'm just trying to think of what I should have done. I guess I should have never... I didn't... Let's say, you know, I didn't see the mate in 2. Let's assume I didn't see the mate in 2 earlier. Anyway, then what do I do if I didn't see that mate in 2 earlier? This is mate in 7. Let me just see the follow-up. What's the mate in 7? King comes down, then he walks forward. So we do allow him to walk the pawn forward, actually. It has him promote to a knight. So it's okay for him to walk the pawn forward, but only in a particular position, I guess. Where I can check him here, then he moves. Wait, no, this is what I actually played. Wrong thing. Here, show follow-up. We walk down one, we walk down again, he moves, threatening to promote. Then I give check. Then I come down again. Oh, if he promotes to a queen, then it's mate. Because these squares are cut off. Okay, well, if that's the only way to win, is to allow the promotion and to see that you had this mate, then there was no way I was going to see that without already knowing this. And to see that all the way back here when I needed to walk the king down. So maybe, even though it is winning, maybe it is really hard to see unless you just know the position well. But I did miss the mate in 2 that was easy to see. So that was where I had a real chance, I think. Okay, alright, well, I think I'll just call it there. I think I've looked at enough of the game review, but this one was really interesting. The whole in-game, after I blundered my rook, got pretty interesting. Yeah, we still gained elo. We're at 1208. So yeah, this has been day 94. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on day 95.